The holiday season is here, so let's take a look at how I built this fun snowman lantern. First things first, I have a lot of scrap wood, so I went to my trusty scrap pile and picked out just the right piece that was the perfect size to give me all the cuts I'd need. Now, I used a piece of hemlock because I had it, but if you're going to be making these to sell, I'd suggest going with something a little nicer. Cedar is always a nice, relatively inexpensive option. First step was to run my board across the jointer so that I'll have a nice square edge later when it's time to square up the other edge on the table saw. I'd really love to upgrade to a bigger jointer, but the 6-inch benchtop model gets the job done for now. The board was already flat, but it was a bit thick for this project, so I gave it a few runs through the planer to get that thickness down. Then it was time to square up the other edge on the table saw before heading over to the miter saw to cut the board down into all of the components I'd need. Next up, I had to cut out my snowman for the front of the lantern. This could be done with a scroll saw or even a jigsaw, but I took the easy way out and had my CNC do the work for me. Now that all of our parts are cut and ready, it's time to put this lantern together. Pretty simple stuff here, just some wood glue on all of our seams and some 23 gauge pin nails to help hold everything together. The 23 gauge pin nailer is such an underappreciated tool if you ask me. It's perfect in situations like this where you just want to help your parts stay tight while the glue cures, and you don't want big nail or screw holes to have to deal with. The 23 gauge nails are so small that they leave almost no trace. And let me tell you, switching over from pneumatic to battery powered nailers is a game changer. Anyway, once the main body of the lantern was assembled, I went ahead and gave it a quick sanding to make it buttery smooth to the touch before getting the glue and my 23 gauge nailer back out to attach the top. Now I have to admit, I went back and forth a bit before settling on the snowman design just because there are so many options: a Christmas tree, Santa, ornaments. They're all options that would look great too, but the snowman won in the end. The last little component to add was this handle piece, and once that was done, I was ready to apply some finish to my lantern. I went simple and just gave it a couple of coats of tung oil, but staining it, depending on the type of wood you're using, is definitely an option. And once you've got that done, all that's left is to get yourself a battery powered candle. That part is really important for obvious reasons. Grab some eggnog and enjoy the holidays. Does anybody actually like eggnog?